Well, you didn't have to look that far for inspiration because your own childhood, you grew up with your mum in Forest Hill in South London, and that was sort of the perfect inspiration for this, wasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, it was me, my mum, my dad. My mum and my dad were together when I was younger, and it was my brother as well. It was very much working class. My mum and dad both went to work and worked very hard, but you know, they didn't own their own house. We lived in privately rented accommodation, and as you know, and is definitely more the case nowadays, private landlords can get away with all sorts. And people living in the houses can suffer the consequences if they're to complain about a boiler breaking or damp on the ceiling. So no, it's very much a world that I understood, and people that I understood and have always been surrounded by. When you
got the role, you immersed yourself in it. I mean, you took it very seriously, and so much so that that you stayed at hostel. You one of the big scenes is where your character, a single mother Katie, hasn't eaten for 4 days. You did that yourself. Yeah,
I mean, Ken is very. He's a very kind man, and he's got a very, very specific process.
This is Ken Loach, the
director, yeah. He has a very specific process when it comes to making his film. His process is all about making it as easy as possible for the actor to do the most believable and realistic job. And so it was method in a sense that leading up to the scene in the food bank, where the character of Katie hasn't eaten for 4 days because she only has money to feed her children. We knew that we couldn't go into that without a real sense of hunger and everything that hunger does to you, stress, tiredness, the kind of disconnect between your mind and your body, and what that does to your adrenaline and your emotions. And yeah, I worked with Shelter, the UK homeless charity, who do amazing work. They do really great work legally as well, with women and men in these circumstances who need to know their rights. They help them in court and so on, and they put me in touch with 2 brilliant women who let me into their homes and meet their children and
all improvised as well. That scene, the scene in particular where you go to the food bank, all the people that work there are volunteers who would be there anyway.
The children, Brianna and Dylan, who play my children in it, didn't know. The women who work in the food bank, who, as you say, are women who work in that food bank and volunteer, they didn't know what was going to happen. And so it really gives it that sense of real life smacking you in the face, as it often does.
Which is exactly what it's done. So much so that the the MPs saying to members of Parliament, you know, we've got to watch this. We've got to organise screenings. You know, although you think they perhaps wouldn't need a screening to know what the real world was about, but there we go.
Well, no, I mean the Tories certainly don't. They're more than
all parties. All parties. We can't be biased on that one. But what I can say though is that the Trussell Trust, the UK's main source of data when it comes to food bank use, they've got these 3-day food parcel systems. They can send to people in crowd. Each parcel has enough food to last one person 3 days. This is what one of these food parcels actually looks like. Between the months of April and September this year, Trussell Trust Food Banks distributed 519,342.
And it sounds like, from Alice's report there, it's more than about just food, isn't it? It's that the conversations, the personal touch, all those things.
Well, the latest set of Trussell Trust annual figures show that in 2015-16, its 424 food banks gave out enough emergency food to feed more than 1.1 million people.
Well done them. Brilliant work.
Well done them. But also remember that you can take to your local food bank. So if you are lucky enough not to be in that situation to need their help, you can provide help for other people.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
I, Daniel Blake, is the film that we've been talking about that prompted that discussion.
For more of the same, just click here, and don't forget you can subscribe for even more of these amazing videos exclusive to our channel.